like and subscribe to our channel.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My mother already told you guys to please like this video and subscribe to my channel. So yeah, on this episode of makeup transformation, I brought you guys a very subtle black smoky eye look. And yeah, I started off by cleaning her face with the Zara Micellar cleansing water. And you see the way I'm taking my time to do that, because it's a very important step in makeup. You have to make sure that the face is very clean. You need to even wash your hands to avoid contaminations and dirt, because it's going to give you a very clean look when the face is clean. And next I went in with my Zaron face primer, and I'm patting that around her face except her under eyes. And you see the way I'm taking my time to blend that in. There is a big fan beside us and it's going to make sure that everything dries up. Next I went in with my Zaron oil block mattifier, and I'm only putting that on her T-zone areas where she sweats the most. Next, for my foundation, I'm going to be mixing two shades to get her shade. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Caramel and the Zickel foundation in the shade 25. I'm going to mix them together, and yeah. So I'm using my Kiss Beauty spray to spray her face before blending using my already damp sponge. I do that because it makes it more easier to blend and smooth, like as you can see. So next I went in using my concealer, my Zickel HD concealer in the shade Nude and in the shade Neutral. I'm going to be using the darker one at the outer part of her eyes and the lighter one in the inner corner of her eyes and on the rest of her highlight areas. Yeah. So I wanted to see if I can talk throughout this voiceover, but I don't think I can. I'll just do the one that my power can carry me. So I'm spraying her face with my Kiss Beauty spray to make it more easier to blend. Honestly, I like to blend a lot. I think brows and blending actually takes my time because it gives you a very good result when you blend very well. It's like you don't get to see harsh lines, and it makes it more Nepa. They brought it back. So for my blush, I'm going to be using this red lip stain, and I wanted to put it at the two sides, but I realized that it dries up very, very fast, so I had to put it on one side and spray it to make it blend properly, and I did same at the other side. Then now I'm trying to set her face, and I'm setting her face with a powder first. I like to do that before the setting powder, so I'm setting at all the areas I highlighted with my concealer, and I'm doing that with the Flawless Ivy powder palette in the shade Pearl and Frown. And I'm now setting her entire face using the same Flawless Ivy powder palette in the shade Honey. Yeah, and I'm bringing the powder down to her neck to make everything blend very well. Next, for her contour, I'm not going to be doing a cream contour, so I'm doing this powder contour, and I'm using the Flawless Ivy palette, and I'm using the shade Frown and Honey. See the way I'm blending that to her hairlines, and I'm doing that taking my time, even though I'm fast forwarding because I really did not want this video to be too long. So next, for her nose contour, I'm using the same contour powder I used for her face, and I'm using that to get her nose line. That's how you contour. You don't just come and draw a line, so you have to get that and blend it properly to come out. I like to use this white shade for my nose contour to define my nose contour and to make it more pronounced, as you can see. So for her blush, I'm going to be using these two shades, this orange and red shade from the Festive by Juvia blush palette for her blush. When he tell the story, that's not how I went. No, they be lying 100%. Moved out of risk and forgot about that bit. Why they just call me to tell me come. And next, for her brows, I'm going to be using this hair wax as my brow trimmer. And yeah, it's a very important step to do. I didn't know that before, but when I found out, it made it more easier because it's going to make the hairs stand properly and gives you a very good result. So I'm going to be using my brow pomade to make an outline of my brows, and I'm going to be doing that before using a pencil to fill it in. I think I prefer to do this. It makes it more easier for me. Yeah. So you see the way I'm taking my time to actually draw her brows. I think I'm going to do a brow tutorial on this channel. So because of time, I'm not going to be showing you guys the two brows because I really do not want this video to be too long. So I'm just going to do this particular one, then skip the next one. Yeah. So this is how sharp your pencil should look like when you are filling your brows. And you see the way I'm taking my time to bring out those strokes on the brows to make it look like a natural one. And I'm done. So for her concealer, I'm going to be using the same HD Zickel concealer in the shade Caramel and Nude. And I'll be using the lighter shade of the concealer for the outer part of the brows and the darker shade of the concealer for the inner part of the brows, just to make it look more natural and blend with the nose contour. Yeah. So is it just me or you feel very tense while concealing your brows? Because any little mistake can just shift the brows and it becomes something else. So I actually make my models or my client close their eyes while I do that, and I will be so concentrated. So I blended the excess concealer from my brows as my eyeshadow primer. Honestly, I normally used to skip this step, but it's very important because it makes a very big difference when you conceal the upper part of your brows. Just look at these brows. They say brows are sisters and not twins. Yeah. So I'm going to be using the powder shade of the concealer I used for her brows to set her brows. And for my setting powder, I'm going to be using the Flawless by Ivy setting powder to set all her highlighted areas. Moving on to my eyeshadow. For my eyeshadow base, I'm going to be using the gel liner in black ink as my eyeshadow base because we are creating a black smoky eye. So you will want to use a black tone, or rather a black base. So you want to blend this very, very well to give you what you want and to avoid harsh lines. You can see the way I'm blending that in, and I did same for the other eye. So for my main black color, I'll be using that black shade from the Full of Grace palette as my main eyeshadow. You see the way I'm patting and blending out properly. You will not want to drag. When you drag, it makes your eyeshadow break at some point. So for my under eyes, I will be using that same black shade to smudge under her waterline to give me the look I had in mind. Now moving on to my transition color, I'll be using that red shade as my transition color to blend out that black. And you have to do this properly. Take your time while blending your eyeshadow, especially a smoky eye like this, to make sure that there is no harsh line. You have to take your time to blend it properly like I'm doing right now. Right now I'm just taking out the excess setting powder and blending in the remaining. So my dear brothers and sisters in Christ Jesus, you have watched this video till this point. It means you love me so much and I love you too. Please like this video. Just click on that like button now, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Buy my market. I'm selling it. Thank you. So for my waterline, I use that black liner you saw, that black pencil. I don't know the name. Now moving on to my lip, I'll be using the HD Adventure Lip Palette, and I'll be taking that brown shade to outline her lips. I already added a nude color at the middle. I'm just trying to use that brown to blend everything together properly. I wasn't really feeling the lips, so I had to add this lip color to it, and I blended it together with the brown, and I think it got better. So I'm using this lip gloss to add on top of the color I added already because I wanted it to be a glossy one, and it came out fine and I liked it. I hope you do. So I'm adding blush again because I want it to, you see the way it looks. different from when I have not added it, so it's fine. And I'm using the powder brush to blend everything together. And right now for my highlights, I'm using the Blossom Matte Bronzer Glow in number 4, and I'm not just dragging, I'm blending in on all the highlighted areas and on my nose. I'm not packing it, I'm just blending it and putting it properly. So I'm doing same at her brow areas. So for my mascara, I'm using the Zaron Wink mascara. This is a very important step to do before fixing your lashes, because it's black, so you won't really see the difference between the one I've done and the one I've not done. There is a very big difference, and it helps your lashes stay properly. Moving on, I'm going to be using the Kiss Beauty Fix Spray to spray her entire face except her eyes, because they are matte, and boom, this is the final look. I love it so much, and I hope you do love it. And if you do, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share this video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Baby.